Good evening. Hi there. How are you this evening? It's Tuesday night. It's 7 p.m. That means it's Creative Genius TV, and I've forgotten to turn my phone off, so I'm going to do that. Turn my phone off. And I'm at the flat tonight, not broadcasting from a dusty room at the house, not broadcasting from the garden, because tonight I'm talking to you all about money mindset, which is always my most popular live that I do. And what's really weird, I'm going to start the night off by talking about this. I had a look back at the last time I did a live and talked to you about money mindset. And it was February 2020. So my hair was a lot shorter, my lashes were a lot longer, and it really hit me like a sucker punch. My husband was still alive. So Gary was in the house with me still when I filmed the last live about money mindset, and he's no longer with me in body, but he most definitely is with me in spirit. That TV looks like I've got black ears coming out the top of my head, doesn't it? He's definitely with me in spirit. And I'm going to include that in what I talk about with you tonight. Hi, Danny. Lovely to have you here, because it's really important. It's important to acknowledge everything that happens in our lives, because they're all interconnected. So the ambience is not as nice as it was on the last one. The backdrop is not as nice, but I'm still here. It's still Mandy, and I'm still here, and that's what's important. Hi, Rachel. And Bo is still here, and he's probably going to bark. Bo, no barkies, please. He's been on a live already today. Honestly, the dog has been on a live with me already today because he barks every time I go live. He's a little tinker. I'd show him to you, but I've got lights at both sides of me and I'll probably knock them over. So I'll just stroke him and keep him quiet. So for those of you that don't know me, and I can't imagine who that is, I am Mandy Nicholson, and I am the Creative Genius Consultant. Here for you, not the background. Awesome. Artist and author, and I help creative women to launch, grow, and scale their business and to make more money. And I love talking about money. It's one of my favorite subjects to talk about. I talk about it all the time. I do loads of guest speaker events talking about money. And I think it's really important to feel free to talk about it. This time next year, I might be talking about it in a whole different sense, because I expect this time next year to be telling you that I am a millionaire, whether you'll see me any differently, because I'll still have a dog barking and I'll still have ratty hair, but that's probably where I'm going to be, because that's where I'm already heading. So money is not a dirty subject. It's something that we work hard for. And I want to talk to you tonight. And I always do the money mindset talk, and I talk about the same things. But I'm going to talk about them in a different perspective tonight, because when I looked back at that live that I did a year ago, I was in a completely different place. I was living in my dream home that I'd bought for cash. And that's part of my story, because 2019 was a pivotal year for me. It was 10 years after the series of unfortunate events happened to me that took me to rock bottom. And rock bottom for me was losing everything, ended up living in a council house with £30 in my bank. I'd lost everything in the space of 12 months. That was my rock bottom. Now, there's the dog woman about in the background. Loved reading your story. Thank you, Danny. Rock bottom for many different people's it's very different. But for me, that felt like absolute rock bottom. I'd always been this important person, having a six-figure career in retail, a senior leader, respected, headhunted. I'd gone from that to living in a council house with average people, with people that were not like me. And that was a real come down for me. And that sounds awful and snobby, but actually it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. It taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about where I needed to go with my life. That was 11 years ago. And when you're at rock bottom, there is only one more place you can go, and that's up. You can't go any further down. Well, I could have been homeless. I could have been, ill. It can always get worse. But I made a decision when I was there that I was not going to do that. I was going to turn my life around. I was going to come back from bankruptcy. I was going to come back from bereavement. I was going to come back from losing all my money, my business, everything that I had in my important career. And I was going to reestablish myself and rebuild my life. So in order to do that, I had to focus on my mindset. It doesn't matter whatever else you do, but if you don't approach life with the right mindset, things are not going to happen for you. Now, there are millions of mindset coaches. I am not a mindset coach. When I talk about money mindset, it's from a place of experience. It's from a place of knowing, because I know what it's like to have a lot. I know what it's like to lose it all. I now know what it's like to rebuild it. So it starts with, for me, it always starts with forgiveness. First person you have to forgive is you. I had to forgive myself for making mistakes, for making judgment errors, for many, many things. And I had to forgive a whole lot of other people as well along the way. And forgiving them released me, not them, because they were irrelevant. It didn't matter to them whether I forgave them or not, because they were oblivious to it. It mattered to me because it meant that I wasn't holding on to any grievances or anger or jealousy or any of those negative emotions that cause you to make poor decisions. And that's what they do. Holding on to those sorts of negative emotions causes you to make poorer decisions. If you make decisions out of jealousy or comparison, that's a poor decision. If you make decisions out of anger or resentment, it's a poor decision, because it's not made a root cause for the best possible outcome for you or for anybody else around you. It's irresponsible almost. And that sounds harsh, and it's difficult. And I was harsh with myself. I really did push myself to have a more positive mindset. And I stopped talking about my little council house as a council house and renamed it my Castle by the Sea. And I was grateful for the £30 that I did have, because I could buy some food with that and some petrol with that. And it went from there. And I went on a journey of rebuilding through forgiveness, through gratitude, and through the next step, which was getting my ducks in a row. Is just getting my finances in a row. And this is where your money mindset comes in. You will have issues with your money mindset. Most people do. They come from your childhood, from your upbringing, from the people that surrounded you. They're not yours. They've been handed down to you through the generations by other people who have money beliefs. Those money beliefs that say things like, money doesn't grow on trees, I'm not made of money, rich people are bad people. All of those things that you heard your Auntie Vera say and your Uncle Bob say, and possibly your parents or your peers, those are things that actually build up your money beliefs. And these things crop up when you least expect it. Have you ever been in a shop looking at something beautiful that's really expensive and haven't bought it for yourself because you don't think you're deserving? You are worried about spending that much money because there are other things to pay for. Or you could be completely the opposite way and just buy it without thought for the consequences. So money mindset can go either way, but it can hold you back. It can hold you back from treating yourself as you deserve to be treated. It can hold you back from having your finances in order. So your money mindset will creep in and show up as you decision make through your life. And it may restrict you from charging the right price in your business for the services and knowledge that you have and the products that you sell. And it might stop you from allowing yourself to earn a lot of money, because you may have a money ceiling that you think you are worthy of. And you may struggle to push yourself beyond that and allow yourself to think beyond that. So tonight I want to, rather than going through, when I looked at the last one, I'd gone through the 10 steps that I'd taken to rebuild my money mindset. But what I want to talk to you about tonight is this money limit that you're putting in place for yourself, this upper limit, this glass ceiling of I can't earn above this level. Because I want you to believe that you can manifest everything that you need and that you can earn whatever you want. Your life, your salary, your wealth is completely down to you. It's the decision that you make about what you want to earn and how you want to do it. And there are some big decisions in there, because most people avoid making those big decisions because of fear. Fear holds them back, and their money mindset and their money limitation holds them back. So I had reached this point where I'd turned my life around in 2019, and I had bought my dream home with my wonderful husband, Gary. Yeah. And he managed to get, so we'd reached this epiphany, this peak, owning our dream home outright. Plenty of money in the bank, plenty of savings, kids well cared for and comfortably off. And Gary got 7 months of that, and then he died. And that gave me a whole new perspective on things. It took me several months to pull myself around and even think normally again. I still managed to run my business successfully. It was the only thing really, I think, that kept me going. But realizing that reaching that milestone of owning your home outright and then losing somebody to share it with you was a big epiphany for me. And that pushed me to make the big decision that I made this year, which was to sell my dream home and invest the equity from it in buying my 7-bedroom home in 𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬 that I'm currently renovating. I'll call it the money pit, but I won't. I'll call it the money pit in a humorous and loving way, because I am loving throwing money into this house. Now, this house has cost me, I got it for a steal. I bought it for £165,000 cash, but it needs well over £250,000 spending on it to put it right, at least. And that's not including the nice to-dos. So it exceeds the equity in my house, and will force me into using my savings. I don't want to do that. So this is where your money mindset is really important, this big thinking. So how do I have this big thinking around money? First things first, I believe with 100%, every cell in my body and every fiber in my being, that I will own a Scottish castle and run creative retreats from there. This house is a stepping stone. I have moved to Scotland so I can feel the goal. I have bought a house where I can create a mini version of this, and I still believe that I will own a castle within the next 5 years. That's my goal. I have really big goals. I believe that I deserve it. I know what that's going to cost me. I know that the castle that I want is £3 million. I will then need the stamp duty for that, which is 600,000. I'll need another £1 million minimum to furnish it, and then possibly another £500,000 to get the business up and running for the retreats I want to run from there. I'm in a situation like this at the minute. I refuse to use my savings. I'm determined not to, and believe I can get things without touch. You can, Danny. This is where I'm going with this now. You do not. That, for me, my pension and savings does not belong to me. It belongs to future me. So I need to generate the money for what I want now. So if I need additional money for this house renovation, I need to generate that additional money through my business and through the activities that I do every single day. And I have no doubts that I can do that. I also need to generate the money for the castle. I have no doubts that I can do that. It's when you have doubt, when you've got a really, really, really big goal. Yes, it's for the future me buying the house. It's for future you. Yes, it is. It's not for you now. You now has to work for the money that you need for now. Future you is looked after by the savings and pension that you've got. And this is, so we've moved on from forgiveness and gratitude and getting your ducks in a row to really thinking big. You are entitled to have a really, really big vision and money goal. You know, you don't get much bigger than a £6 million money goal of a castle in Scotland. But I believe that I deserve that. I know that I will have that. So when you're thinking that big, you've got to have a plan at the back of that. So you've got to work backwards. And this is one of my top tips for tonight, is you've got to work backwards from your big goal. What does £6 million look like? How many people do I need to serve through my programs that I have? This is where, you know, how many people do I need to serve through my programs? How many people need to come to the bed and breakfast and the retreats? How many books do I need to sell? How many paintings do I need to sell? What's that made? What's that £6 million made up from in all of the income streams that I have in my business? And I have to be that focused if I'm going to manifest that. So money mindset is about all of those things I've mentioned: gratitude and forgiveness and getting your ducks in a row and having a financial plan and having a financial advisor. But it's also about having a big vision and a plan that goes with it. And I still use my money affirmations on a daily basis. I have for the last 10 years used money affirmations on a daily basis because they allow my brain to think bigger and to think in terms of my vision. So every single day, without fail, and any of you that have heard me speak about this before will recognize them. I am strong. I am powerful. I am well. I live a wealthy and abundant life. Money comes easily and effortlessly to me from multiple different sources. I accept 100 women into my signature program in September 2021. I know specifically, my affirmations are specific. They are helping me deliver the plan that I have in place for the big vision that I have for this castle. And this is how high you can take your money mindset. So I have no doubt whatsoever that whatever bit, I mean, literally for the last 2 months since I've been renovating this house, each week I've had an additional £10,000 added onto the bill to renovate it. So the roof's cost an extra £13,500. I've now got to have a full fire alarm system in. And emergency lighting, another £10,000. Everything's been, you know, I've got 8 fire doors. Bear with me a minute, because I think the dog needs to go out. Isn't this typical? Don't you love dogs and kids? And I'm going to do this because what I don't want to do is be cleaning up diarrhea on a live. So I'm going to phone my son, who's in his bedroom, and get him to come and get. I bet you've never seen this on a live before, have you? The dog, desperate to get out and may well have diarrhea. There could be an accident in here any minute now. Dan?
075.
Dan's not answering his phone. This is hilarious. I'll be known for this now for the rest of my life.
Hello?
Dan, can you urgently come and take Jet out, please? I'm on a live.
Okay.
Right, urgent.
Okay.
Go on, you can laugh. You can laugh about this. Keeping it real. No, never actually, but my coach tells her dog off. You look very desperate. He's been digging at the door, Dan. I think he might need to go out urgently. Yeah. Keeping it real, keeping it real. Thank you, Dan. Everybody says that's on the live. Get him out down the back, yeah? He's 14 and a half. I'm just going to say this, guys, that are watching me. My black Labrador Jet is 14 and a half years old. And if he needs to go, he needs to go. His timing is impeccable, isn't it? I've completely lost my train of thought now. So I was talking about, you know, how big you can take your mindset, and that everything is down to you having this big vision and a plan for where you want to take it. And it really is. So what I want to share with you tonight is that whatever you do, everything that you do needs to be interconnected. So I'm going to talk to you about what's happened. Dan's come in handy sometimes, they do. I want to talk to you about the process of me moving here in terms of money mindset and why I'm currently doing what I'm doing, what I'm doing, and how that links into my big vision, because it might give you some ideas and B, some motivation to really think about how your business is connected to every single thing that you do. So obviously I sold my home. It sold within 24 hours. I sold my dream home that we had in Northumberland. I moved to Scotland. I found this house. I bought this house. I'm renovating this house. And what I did was sit down and look at my business and say, right, okay, if I'm going to be able to do this renovation to the standard that I want it to do it, and I want to still continue to retain my savings and investments, and I want to still have a plan to move me towards my castle, what actions do I need to take? So I looked at which of my products and services could generate for me the most amount of income. Now, you've got to look at all of your income streams. So I looked at my income streams and I've got 4 programs at 4 different price points. My creative mastermind is at the top there. It's a £5,000 investment. Yes, people can pay monthly for that, but that's at the top. So if I bring 100 women into my creative mastermind on a launch, that's £500,000 of income stream, isn't it? So I asked myself the question, can I bring in 100 women? And can I do that twice a year? So then it was, how do I do that? And what's the infrastructure needed to be able to do that? How do we build that as a team? I've got a team of 7 at the moment, of amazing 7 people who do lots. So they build funnels for me. They manage my social media for me. They schedule for me. They do email automations for me. So I'm very lucky that I can have a look at that big job and say, how do we build an infrastructure that's going to be able to attract 100 women? And in order to attract 100 women into the signature program, I need to have 2,000 women in some sort of challenge, because those are the ratios. You're going to convert at approximately 5% if you're in a challenge or masterclass situation. Your conversion rate in any other place on the internet is around 1 to 2%. So the best place to convert is in a 5-day challenge or a masterclass, because people can get to know you better. So I decided to go for a 5-day challenge. Now, I didn't just say, oh, I'll do a 5-day challenge. What I did was I went and did 6 people's 5-day challenges so I could market research 5-day challenges and the impact they have and how people were engaging in there and how they were attracting the people into the 5-day challenges. So that's taken months of research. That's what I've been doing since the start of the year. So I'm giving you all my tips away here of what I've done in order to say, how do I generate £500,000 twice a year from one income stream? One income stream. There's more underneath it. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. So that I knew that's what I needed to do. So I then had to say, right, okay, my ideal client. My ideal client is this woman. I know her well because I've had women on my signature program, going through my signature program. So I know my ideal client really well. I've been working with her, on a regular basis. This is good because I'm about to do a challenge. Great. So I knew my ideal client and I was doing all these 5-day challenges, and there was a huge mismatch with what was out there and available. Some great 5-day challenges. I thoroughly enjoyed them all. Honestly, thoroughly enjoyed them all. But they were not enough. They were not right for my ideal client. My ideal client needed something very different. So my job was to create something very different that met the needs of my ideal client and helped her to do something different that would trigger a motivation and inspiration to do more in her business, to level up her money mindset. So I created my 5-day challenge, but there's more to a 5-day challenge, and there's more to a creative entrepreneur than just that. There's the identity issue. Most of the women that I have worked with have struggled with identity. So I decided to investigate identity, and I ended up researching and studying and learning the Jungian Carl Jung's archetypes, the Jungian archetypes they're referred to in the marketing world. They are used to identify customers and how they buy. There are 12 archetypes, and we've all got a bit of each archetype, but on average, we have 3 dominant archetypes from the Jungian archetypes. So I decided that because I was looking for creative women, so artists, crafters, authors, they're very different. They think very differently. That I would segregate them into 4. So I've created a quiz that allows my clients to understand who they are, which archetypes they demonstrate, and therefore where they are. It helps me because I understand where these women are when they do the quiz. It helps them because they understand themselves better. So I'm launching a 5-day challenge and a creative archetype quiz. It's big, chunky, meaty stuff. And there's actually 4 months of me working 12, 13-hour days gone into creating these. Can't wait for this. And what it's going to do is help creative women to see that they can. So in order to attract that number of people, you've got to have an offer that your ideal client really, really wants and needs, and that is going to make a huge difference to their lives. Your job in attracting the wealth that you want is to help more people. It's not about the wealth. You have to know your numbers and know what your targets are, but it's not about the wealth. It's about the number of people that you can help. Why? If I help 100 women through this challenge that sign up for my creative mastermind, I am going to send 100 women into the world in a year's time to help more women. It's a ripple effect. It's a massive ripple effect. Because I know then that those women can help thousands of women. And if I can help 100 women and maybe then 200 women and even more women as I move forward, and I have no ceiling on those earnings, whether I help 100 or 1,000, I can very quickly put the infrastructure in place to be able to do that because I've got the base infrastructure in place. So it's building a business online and building an infrastructure that meets your financial wealth needs your money mindset to be at the same place as you would need to be as if you were building a house. You cannot build a house without really strong foundations. So the first thing that you need to do is have really strong foundations. And strong foundations is a strong social media presence, a good network, to be seen as an expert in your field and to be recognized as that, which is what I've been doing over the last few years, building up my reputation, writing for loads of newspapers and magazines, appearing on podcasts, being a guest speaker, building up my presence as an expert in my industry so that when I'm ready to launch something, people already know that. And that's what your key driver is in your business, is to step into the skin that says, I'm an expert at this, I can help you, and I can help you by doing this, building the foundations, the infrastructure. So my infrastructure was 4 programs, foundation level, intermediate, advanced, and mastermind, a team of people that help me so that I can be in my zone of genius. So I've got 7 people doing all the stuff that would take me like hours and hours to do, and also suck out all of my energy. So money mindset is linked to how you look after yourself and how you invest in yourself. I decided to invest in a team so that I could just operate in my zone of genius. So building foundations, really, really strong foundations, so that when you're ready to scale on in a big way. So wherever you are now, let's say you've got £1,000 program and some products and maybe a book, yeah? And you're ticking over with a small amount of income coming in from your book, and your products you're doing really well on, but that takes time. Love this, as I've just invested in 2 VAs. It's really scary when you've got to pay them wages at the end of the month, Danny, but you've got to always view it as, this is an investment in my business. You are your first investment in your business. So I have invested in myself to the tune of around £25,000 over the last 2.5 years in coaches and fill in the gaps of knowledge that I didn't have. I always invest in myself. Every month I do a monthly coaching session still with Stella Tudor, who is my intuitive coach, who pushes my subconscious to a place that you can't even imagine. Because for me now, it's big thinking. It's about thinking bigger and bigger and bigger all the time and pushing that money mindset ceiling further and further and further. because the more money I make, the more people I've helped in order to get it. And that money, when it comes to me, it's not spent on fancy cars. It's spent on reinvesting in my business so that I can serve more people. At the moment, that's my main focus, serving more people, helping more creative women. Breaks my heart when I see women out there not earning enough money. I want to teach them how to do that. But first, I need to convince them that they need to invest in themselves. And that's your job. If you are wanting to change your money mindset, you've got to change the way that you show up and that you speak so that people know that you can help them. And that goes back to the identity thing. When you know who you are and you know exactly who you're serving. Now, there is lots of training out there on ideal client and ideal customer, and there's nothing wrong with any of it. Nothing wrong with any of it. But you're probably going to have to do it about 10 times until you nail your ideal client. I'm telling you that now. If Rachel's still watching, she will agree with this. If she's not, she'll come back on replay and agree with this. You know, sometimes some of my clients have had to do their ideal client work 3 or 4 times. We've even had to spend a whole one-to-one doing ideal client work to really nail down who it is that's buying from you so that you can speak to them correctly. And even a slight change in your ideal client means your copy has to change. And your copy and how you show up and how you speak is linked to your identity, knowing who you are, knowing who you're serving. And once you reach that level, this is a whole different level I'm talking at tonight from the last money mindsets that I did in February 2020. Because when you are moving into the realms of understanding identity and how you show up and how you create your persona, it's a completely different ball game. You're operating at a whole different level. So I have been creating this infrastructure for this 5-day challenge. And over the 5 days, there'll be activities every day in the challenge, nothing too much, because if you do too much, people will drop off halfway through. So no more than 20 minutes activity every day. So there's a workbook and a video. Then there's a live at night, an opportunity to ask questions. And that's it. Because if you overwhelm people in that week, you will lose them. So you've got to get that right. You've got to get that spot on, in fact. And then you've got to be able to bring people into that. That means investing in a Facebook ad or a massive organic campaign. So that's also part of the foundations and infrastructure. So here's what's happening with my 5-day challenge. And I'm going to announce this to you tonight. This is how we're approaching it. My team of 7 has started today. We start today with the share campaign. We have a share campaign going out today. And behind that, the tagline is everybody knows a creative. So from tonight, and there'll be a post, there's a link on this very live to my 5-day challenge. When you share that link and use the hashtag #TheArtBank, capital T, capital A, capital B, The Art Bank, I think I've put it into the comments. When you share that link, you join the 5-day challenge and you comment and engage through the 5-day challenge, you have the chance of winning a retreat at my new retreat place called the Art Bank. Worth £1,400, and it's an amazing prize. That's part of my promotional campaign. I'm giving away a prize worth £1,400 in order to find all of the creatives out there that need my help. Everybody knows a creative. That's the campaign name. So that starts today. We start sharing that today. Next week, I will be posting 6 times a day. You're going to be so sick of me. There'll be 6 posts a day going out for 2 weeks on all of my pages, everywhere. Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook page, Facebook personal page, 6 posts a day. A mix of long form story posts, short posts, video posts, 1-minute trainings, call to actions, a mix, 6 times a day, 84 posts I've had to write. There will also be me harassing all my family members and network that I never ask anything from to share this for me. And then there'll be a Facebook ad running. In order to get 2,000 people in that group, that's the effort I need to put in. That's taken 3 months to build all of that. In addition to that, there's an email campaign going out to my email list. there's blogs, there's newsletters. There has been an immense 30,000 words of content written for this campaign. That's how much effort. But that's because when you're looking at numbers like that, and I've got a castle on my vision board, it's not just about having a castle on your vision board. And this is what I wanted to make clear tonight to you all. The castle can be on your vision board, but have you got a plan that backs that up? Do you believe you can do it? And what is your strategy for getting there? Which product is going to be your hero product, the one that you're going to focus on, that's going to generate the wealth to get you to wherever your vision board plan needs to get you there? So that's where I'm coming from. It's a whole different money mindset tonight, isn't it? And then I've done it in the past, because I have changed. And if you stay doing the same old thing all the time and you don't move forward, then you can't take anybody else forward with you. And I want to bring you all forward with me, because I'm able now to help women at a whole different level, because everything that I do for my business, I put in to my signature program. So everything that I've done for this launch, the 84 social media posts, the blogs, the 25-page email automation that I've written, the sales pages, everything goes into my teachable training, so that my ladies that invest in themselves have got a template to be able to do it for themselves. Because that's how you take others to that whole higher level as well. So I want you to think about that. Whatever it is you're creating, you create it where you're at, you meet yourself where you're at, and you nail it and you master it and you hit your financial targets where you are at. When you are hitting your financial targets, you are ready to up level and move your money mindset ceiling up. And if you've got resistance to that and think you can't do it, that's what you need to work on, that money mindset gap, the thinking gap between the I can and I can't. I hope that's all made sense for you tonight, and it's not been too pie in the sky. I just want you to know that it's absolutely possible, because I didn't launch this business until Boxing Day 2019, and I launched it with no clients and no money coming in. And I could only invest my savings in the things that I needed to learn and the things that I needed to do. So I started wherever you are at now. We were equal at one point. Absolutely 100%. So I want you to know that it's taken me 2.5 years to be doing a launch where I expect to be generating up to £500,000 of income. If I can do that in 2.5 years, there's absolutely nothing stopping you from doing that other than your mindset. And when you are ready to open that, you need to go and find and learn the things that you need to learn to get you there. Now, it may not be me. I'm not saying come on my challenge and work with me and pay me all your money. It might not be me. You might not like me. You might not want to work with me. You might find somebody else more inspirational than me, but you might listen to this tonight and think, I'm going to go and do something. And that's why I do these lives every single week. Because if it makes you think I'm going to do something, then it was worth me showing up. Doesn't matter whether it's me or not. Because what I want is just for every woman to have the success she deserves. It doesn't matter the route you take to get there. However, I am going to say this not just from a personal note, you will get there quicker if you work with someone that's A, already done it, and B, knows what to do. So that's what you need to find. I've invested in myself over the years. Are you investing in yourself at the right level? And come along to my 5-day challenge. It's free. It's absolutely free. You get to do the quiz, which loads of people are waiting for. Yeah, you get to do the quiz and find out who you are, whether you're Van Gogh, Monet, Picasso, or Salvador Dali. You get to find out how the whole infrastructure of the 5-day challenge works. You'll get all the workbooks, which you can download and do what you want with. Yeah, so true. I invested in a coach for the first time in 7 years. I've grown so much this year. I've watched you grow, Danny. Actually, that's Danny saying that. You might not be able to see her comments on some of the other platforms, but Danny Louise Smith, who is the MIB leader for Leeds and Wakefield, and who is also a fellow creative and crafter who helps women who craft to build their businesses, and also has a wonderful keepsake business. Yeah, she's saying she's invested in a coach and she's grown so much, and I've watched her do that, and it's actually it gives you such joy to see that happening. And Danny did say something to me through social media just a few weeks ago, because she's joined my group, and we, you know, lots of people that are in the creative space have not let her in to their circles because they see her as competition. Why is any of us in competition? We are all different. I'm going to leave you with this. We are all unique and different. And what Danny does, she does her way. And what I do my way. And there's enough money, and there's enough room, and there's enough space for every single one of us to earn what we are worth. Every single one of us. All started with your mindset talk back in February. But yes, community over competition. Totally community over competition. And if I've inspired Danny to take action, then by gum, I've done a good job. That's all I'm going to say about that. So this is the importance of communicating, being open, showing up with integrity. I have shared with you tonight numbers in my life. I've shared how much money I've spent, how much I've invested in myself, how much I sold my house for, and how much money I expect to earn. There's nothing hidden when you can show up with integrity and talk about money openly. And I've even said to you, look, you know, if I make this money, it's being reinvested into supporting the women that I work with and into the property that I'm renovating. I'm not going to buy a BMW. I don't give a shit about BMWs. If I bought one, it would be covered in dog hair and sand within 2 days. So there's pointless me owning anything like that. I can tell you that now. Might buy some art. Yeah, but that's a good investment. But you show up with integrity, share your money story. We've all got a money story. Follow the people that inspire you. Work with the people that inspire you. Yeah, and surround yourself with the people that you find the most interesting. Yeah, haha, that's me and designer gear, no matter how much money I make. Yeah. Surround yourself with wonderful people that you adore, that get you and that you get. That's how to make yourself successful. That's how to change your money mindset. If you can watch somebody that's doing better than you, that's a level above you, that's being more successful than you, and not be jealous of them, not be envious of them, follow them, watch what they do, watch them, listen to them, ask them for advice. They're the ones that are going to guide you on your way. Find the people that can help you deal with the blocks in money, the blocks in mindset that you have. And if you are watching this at any point, if you're live, let me know. If you replay, let me know. And wherever you are in the world, let me know if you've watched this. Just come along and do my 5-day challenge and share the shit out of the link for me. This is my strategy with my team of people. I'm going to share this with you. I told you I'm really honest. Our hashtag for getting our stuff out is STS. We share the shit out of everything. Share the shit out of the link for the 5-day challenge. You're going to go into a draw for an amazing 4-day creative retreat with me. You get to paint with me. You get to create your own logo to go on my art wall. I think the most important thing is whoever wins this prize is going to be the first person to visit my art retreat. And there's only ever one first. You will be down in the history of the place. So it's not just about the value of the prize. It's the prestige of the prize. You're going to be the first logo on the art wall. And you're going to go home with a masterpiece that you create with me that you're going to love. And you're going to get fed some amazing Scottish food, locally sourced, locally produced. I've got an amazing team all lined up, ready for the house. So that's really exciting. So thank you for listening to me for this long. This is much. I always talk about money for a really long time. So what's the hashtag? Hashtag the Art Bank. The Art Bank. Capital T, capital A, capital B, the Art Bank. Share the link, Share it as often. The more times you share it, the more entries into the draw. So I will be with you again, same time, same place next week, different subject, and I'll be in the organic campaign where you're sick of the sight of me 6 times a day. So have a wonderful week. I will see you then. And remember, there's no ceiling to the amount of money that you can earn. Bye for now.